Well, hey there, my friend. Abby from Abbi Kirsten Collections here, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this adorable spring house explosion box. This is so much fun for kids to make, for you to make for coworkers or friends. So the supplies you're going to need for this project is a medium weight cardstock. I recommend a 65 to 80 pound cardstock, but I will say for some of the inner pieces of the box, I would recommend a more lightweight paper or cardstock because it will allow the box to fold close a little bit more efficiently. So you may want to use something like a piece of scrapbooking paper for certain elements on the inside of the box. You'll want to have a cutting machine. I'm going to be using my Cricut Maker machine for this. You'll need to have a cutting mat. I also like to use a brayer tool to press my material to the mat. I'll be using a scoring stylus to score my explosion box here. You can also use a scoring wheel. And then you'll need some sort of adhesive. I'll be using the Barely Art liquid craft glue. That is my personal favorite when it comes to making paper crafts. And then you'll need some sort of small treat, candy, or small toys to put inside of your spring explosion box. Let's go ahead and get this cut out and assembled. All right, my friends, so there's only a couple things you need to be aware of when you're doing this setup here in Design Space. First, go ahead and download this file. It's available for all of our members and the AKC community, and there's more details below for you. You're going to bring this SVG file in via the upload button over here, and it's going to look something similar to this. And there's two things you need to be aware of. First, when you bring this file in, it's going to be grouped. You're going to want to make sure your scale is set properly for what your machine can handle. Now, I do not recommend scaling this down very much because it's going to get very difficult for some of the small pieces to get cut out, so please be mindful of your size. If we right-click and we hit Ungroup, go ahead and click off, and then if we select this piece here, where the box opens out, this is our largest piece out of everything on our screen. So we want to make sure that stays under 11.5 inches because that's what our 12 by 12 mat is going to support for a full-size machine. I'll be using my Cricut Maker 3. If you wish to resize this, maybe you're able to cut a little larger or you want it to be just slightly smaller, although I wouldn't go too much smaller, you want to make sure you're always scaling as a group to retain the proportions. So if you're scaling as a group, make sure you've selected everything and then come to one of these corners and you can scale it slightly smaller or slightly larger as a group and everything will retain those proper proportions, okay? Then you can click off and go back to that largest piece there and see where you're at. So I know that I've lost about 3/4 of an inch there. I'm gonna put it back to where it was just because I like my box as big as possible. The last thing you need to know is about all of these black lines you see here. We need to change these to score operations in Design Space and attach them to the piece that we want scored. So I'm just going to do a couple of examples here, but you're going to do this anywhere where you see these black lines. So for example, here with this top of the box, if we look in the layers panel, I find it easiest to select things in the layers panel. So I can click on this piece. I'm going to hold my shift key on the keyboard and I'm going to click as I hold my shift key to select all of those pieces at once. Then I'm going to come up to operation and change it to score. And you're going to see that reflected here on your canvas. I'm then going to hold my shift key on my keyboard again and click on the base so that I have the score lines and that base selected. And we're going to click attach. If we do not attach the score lines to what we want scored, Cricut will separate the score lines out onto a different mat at this time that I'm making this video. Hopefully that's something that they do create improvements on in the future. Same thing for all these other lines. So anywhere where you see lines here, here on the box, on the roof of the house, all of those pieces, you're going to need to change to the score operation. Make sure you take your time doing this and double check that you have changed those score lines and attached them. And once you have gone through that process, please make sure you save your file so that when you want to remake this again in the future, you never have to do the setup again. You already have it saved and ready to go. If you toggle over to Color Sync on your top right-hand side, you'll be able to see all the colors present here in this project. So for example, this green and this green are quite similar. So why don't we go ahead and just put those together? And same thing for this blues. These are very similar, so I'm going to put those together. And I'm just dragging it underneath the color that I want to combine it to. So same thing with our sort of yellows and oranges that we've got going on here. We have a lot of similar oranges here. We only really need to use one orange. So I'm going to combine all of the orange colors together so that less mats will be prompted to be cut out. So get comfortable using that color sync tool just by dragging those colors, similar colors together, and it's going to save you time and paper and a lot of effort. Go ahead and click onto that makeup button, and I'm going to be selecting the medium cardstock for the most part because that's the majority of what I'm using. For the pieces that go over the little faces here that fold in, I do recommend using something like a lightweight scrapbooking pattern paper maybe for that, because it will make the box close and fold better and have straighter sides. You'll see in my photos that mine have a little bit thicker bulging sides, and that's because I used two thick cardstocks together and that was the result. So after my experience, that would be my suggestion for these pieces and the little chick faces. I recommend using a thinner paper so that you don't run into that issue as much. So I'm going to select medium cardstock on the following screen and get this cut out and assembled. So I'm going to go ahead and load each one of my pieces of cardstock onto my mat and we'll get them cut out. I'm going to use my brayer tool here to press the material to the mat, and then Cricut's going to go ahead and cut them out. Now you'll also be prompted to place in your scoring stylus or your scoring wheel if your machine supports that. For the mats that require the scoring. So make sure that you have that tool on hand and get all of your colors of cardstock cut out, and I will meet you in the next scene when we'll start assembling this project. All right, I've got all of my pieces cut out here. So I want to start with these major pieces first, the base of the box and the roof of the box. I want you to go through and crease along those score lines. So take your time with this. You want to make sure you get good, clean, sharp creases on everything so that it folds up nice and neat. Once I have my creases complete, I'm going to grab my Barely Art glue and I'm going to get all those little tabs tucked with glue and everything secured so that we start to form that 3D box. So with the lid, it's super simple. You're just going to add some glue to each of the tabs there and press and hold for a few seconds until that glue grabs. There's a little fun chimney piece here. You're going to fold along those score lines as well, and then you'll connect that piece to the other side, and then there'll be a little part that folds inwards, sort of like a box. And the long side is going to have the tabs folded outwards so we can stick it into the top of the roof. So get all of those items glued together and creased. I'm also going to be placing the decorative scalloped part of the roof over the main base piece, and you'll just line up that rectangular cutout there to make sure that it is good to go and perfectly aligned. Next, we want to work on assembling all of the small pieces. So things like the bunnies, the birds, the flowers, the greenery, all of those things, they're going to have little layers that go together. So just go through all those small pieces and get those layers put together so that they're ready to go when you are ready to decorate the exterior and the interior areas of your spring explosion box. So I'm not going to show you all this in step by step because it is quite tedious, but you can follow the layers that you see on your screen of your cut software. So for me, that's Design Space. And I just use that as a reference to know where everything goes. Also, be free with it. I don't always follow everything exactly. Sometimes I feel something comes together a little bit different when I'm assembling it as far as the placement of something on the house. So don't be afraid to be too rigid. You can play around with it. But I'm just going to get everything assembled here. I'm also going to get this inner basket piece creased, and we're going to make sure that that is creased along the base, and then we're going to add a little bit of glue to the tabs that are on each side and glue it together. So fold those tabs in, add a dot of glue, and then press it together, and it's going to form what looks like a little basket, which will be the innermost part of our box here. And this is great for holding a piece of candy or a small toy or something like that. With my main box base piece here, I have these little squares that add sort of a nice layer to our box. It creates sort of a framed edge, and it just makes the box look a little bit more complete and pretty. So I'm going to be adding each one of these square contrasting layers to the design. And I have one here that's a different color because that's where I'm going to be putting my tic-tac-toe game on that side. So I'll apply that as well with glue. The little carrots and the X's that are included are for the tic-tac-toe, so make sure you assemble those little carrots as well with their little green tops. Now for our little chick and bunny faces that go into the corners, you can add their little cheeks on, and these are the parts that I do recommend. If you can do a lightweight scrapbooking paper, your box is going to fold a lot neater in the end. I had cardstock that I did was rather thick, and I don't recommend that after building this and from my personal experience. But you will want to add this onto the corners. And I'll do that with the chick and with the bunnies. You'll also have some other fun elements like our little layered eggs. You can cut these out and add them on for decoration. You can cut additional ones if you want more of them. You don't have to cut them at all. So remember, it's not an exact thing, just have fun with it and make it your own. Your creativity is as unique as you are. So don't be afraid to, go for it and make it your own style. That's what I love most about teaching crafters in my community is they make it their own. And I think there's so much beauty in that. I'm going to get my little yellow basket piece here placed into the center of the box. So adding glue to the bottom and just place that squarely into the center. I'm also going to add on my little bunny. So he just sort of sits behind the basket as a cute little surprise that is in there to welcome you when the box opens. So you'll see there's a little tab at the bottom that folds underneath itself, and you'll just use that to place it wherever you would like on one of those sides of that basket. And he'll sit straight up for us to see when we open the box. For this little flower-shaped piece here, you want to fold along all of those score lines nice and carefully. You'll need to fold from several different angles, and then you're going to sort of push it to where it looks like a star. So it's going to look like a 6-point star basically. And that's where you're going to store all of your little tic-tac-toe pieces, your carrots and your X's. So you can place those right inside of that, and then you're going to want to fold them down and turn them so they're sort of vertically falling over each other like a fan, and it'll create sort of an interlocking mechanism that'll hold those items. And you'll place a little bit of glue and stick that to one side of the box. I like to put it on the opposite side of the tic-tac-toe game. I also have this little window piece that's going to go on the other side. It has a sweet little message. It says, Happy Easter, and I'm going to place that on the inside of the fold-out windows. It's going to be going on one side of the box here, but I'm going to add some other elements to it. You're going to see 2 window elements as well as some greenery, flowers, and I'm also going to include a couple little birds as well. And I'm going to place that on the inside so that it can be folded closed for the box when it needs to be closed up, but then when your recipient opens it, they'll have something else to open inside the box that'll give them a sweet little message here that says Happy Easter. So I'll be applying glue to the back of that and placing that on the last available side of my spring house explosion box. Super cute and fun. So at this point, I'm going to add some treats to the inside of my box, and I'm actually going to get it closed up because I need to work on the roof next. So I'm going to close all the sides up, and the way it works best is to hold 3 of the 4 sides and then to use that lid to sort of pick up and grab that 4th side and gently place the lid on. Now it is going to take just a moment to sort of get it settled on there properly. So don't worry if it's not going on smoothly immediately. Just take your time with it. Explosion boxes have a lot going on. So it takes a minute to get those pieces to settle into place. You're going to want to add in your chimney at this point. So I'm just placing some glue along those tabs, and then you want to place it through that rectangle that you see there, and then flip it over and kind of press it into place and just hold it until it's dry. Next, we want to assemble the roof part. So I folded along the score lines, and I originally tried to do this with it on top of the box lid, but it was a lot easier to do it off of the box lid. So I recommend taking these 2 triangular pieces here and go ahead and get them lined up along the edges. You want them inset from the edge just a little bit, not flush with the edge, so just a slight inset on each side. And it's going to take a minute to grab, so I recommend, pressing it to the top center there and getting it aligned and smoothed on, and then hold it until it's dry and then move on to the other side. So I have one side placed on here. I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Again, just a slight inset, maybe 1/2 inch, no more. And you'll place that on each side of those folded edges, and the glue will take a second to grab. So just take your time and hold it in place. Once your roof is dry, you can go ahead and get it attached to the actual lid of the box here. So I have my lid sitting on top of my box, and I'm going to add glue along the front and the back. And it doesn't really matter which side you make the front and the back, just choose 2 sides. And I'm going to add a generous amount of glue, and we'll put the roof on top. And I'm going to be aligning the bottom edge of the lid to the edge of the roof. So you'll use that as your guide. And you're going to need to hold this for a few seconds. So just be patient with it. You might need to sneak a little more glue in there and press and hold it to get it all to come together, and so that roof becomes the actual lid of the box. And now it's time to just decorate the outside of our box. So I have all these window pieces here. I'm layering them together with glue. I have a lot of my other decorative pieces prepped with my grass and flowers and my birds and my butterflies. So have fun decorating this. You can sort of follow how mine looks here. You can follow more of how it's laid out with the file, or you can just make it your own and design it however you want. And that's kind of what I ended up doing here. I didn't really follow the way the file was laid out originally. I cut a bunch of my pieces and then I had fun just placing things where I thought they looked best. I also want to note that with our little flowers here, they have small cutout pieces for the center, but those can be a little cumbersome to work with and to get cut out and glued on. So if you're not liking that, and I didn't particularly enjoy doing that myself, even though I do include them, you can take something just like a colored gel pen and add a little color to the center of the white flower cutout, and it works really well, and you don't have to worry about using glue or trying to handle really tiny pieces, which I know can be a little challenging. So just have fun decorating your box, and remember there's no right or wrong here. It's your creativity and whatever feels good for you. There's little fence pieces as well that you can sort of make it look like a garden fence, so it's super fun. So here's our finished box. You could do these in a lot of different ways. If you cut these out in different colors and you place the items on the exterior in different locations, each house is going to look very unique, but I think this is so much fun. You'll notice there's a little bulging on the side. That's again because I used double thickness on the medium cardstock, so that's why again I recommend for those corner pieces, those extra layers, use a thinner scrapbooking paper. And let's go ahead and open this up. And here we go on our inside. So it's so fun when you open it up. It's colorful. It's got a lot of personality. It says Happy Easter. We have our tic-tac-toe game where we can open up our little carrot and X's there and play our game. And we have our treats in the center and our little bunny that greets us. This is so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you go and download this file. I also have other spring explosion boxes and spring crafts, so you will find more information on all of our spring projects below. And I would love to see what your project looks like, so make sure you tag us or send us a message. I want to see how your projects turn out so we can celebrate your creativity with you. As always, I'm Abby from Abbi Kirsten Collections, your friend in the pursuit of craftiness. I'll see you next time, my friend. Bye for now.